There are three things you could be seeing today that would lead me to think we'd made a mistake. Fortunately, none of them are things that we see. One is you could see that either GM or Chrysler had failed. And basically, we'd propped them up for another year and a half, and it hadn't really worked. And a reasonable judgment was that we had thrown good money after bad, and merely delayed a little bit an inevitable, painful failure. That did not happen. Second thing that could have happened would have been that a reasonable reading of developments in the credit markets and the ways in which loaning, if somebody had produced a $27 billion DIP financing in August of 2009, it would have been reasonable to suppose that we had had insufficient nerve, and that if we had just left this to the conventional bankruptcy mechanism, that private finance would have been available on a substantial scale. I think nothing that happened in credit markets between 2009 and 2011 would suggest that our lack of confidence in what the private market could do would have been was unwarranted. And the third thing that could have happened that would have constituted a failure today is that this could have been Vietnam. The government could still be heavily involved with the companies. It could turn out that a Democratic administration was incapable of keeping hands off, and the process of government involvement through bankruptcy could have led to all kinds of new government-mandated labor arrangements, all kinds of new government-mandated environmental arrangements, all kinds of barriers to necessary restructuring and shrinkage, and these things could be the automobile companies could be being operated as public utilities in some sense. Or I suppose a fourth thing that could happen would be that there were managers of big companies in America thinking that it was okay to take risks or be incompetent because the government would bail them out, and citing the example of the automobile companies as a basis for complacency.